What's going on, everybody? It is Cam here, Easy Work to Acres. It is a hot Sunday afternoon and we are doing some chicken coop maintenance today. So we just replaced like the wheels and stuff on the chicken tractor. So basically 2 of the tires were completely blown out on the side, so we had to replace those, get some fresh ones on, which they're not new, they're just used tires. And it actually appears like this front one's already leaking on me, so might have to slime that baby up and hopefully it'll hold air. But I got the wheels on and everything. But the next thing I would like to fix, we're gonna make some upgrades this week to the chicken coop, and this video is gonna be our watering upgrade. So that's what our focus is today. We're gonna have another video where we are updating our door, but the watering system has been kind of wonky for a little while. So for the most part, our watering system has worked really well for us. You know, it's a gutter, fills these barrels run down to a float valve that usually runs down to a bucket. The only issue is either our bucket tends to give out over time, whether it dries out from the sun and cracks and breaks or whatever, or our float valve does. This is the second float valve in 2 years I've had, and this one's crapping out on us now, and we're getting really sick of having to run buckets of water out here every day. It's super hot, and the chickens need water all the time. So coming out here all the time is getting to be just way too time consuming, and I wanted to make an upgrade to this. So instead of replacing it with yet another float valve for the 3rd year in a row and continuing to fight the bucket process, we're going to be putting in what kind of almost looks like a metal bedpan or a toilet, basically, that the chickens will drink out of. It has a float valve in it, but it is stainless and will hopefully hold up a lot better. So we're going to get into that. All right, so first I kind of wanted to show you an unboxing what this thing looked like. So it's an automatic watering system that you get on Amazon. It's like 34 bucks for this thing, and it seems like it's going to be a good deal. So it comes with its own flex hose and everything. And then it also comes with like I think it's a 3/4 quick connect. So I can connect this to my water barrel, and I can easily quickly connect and disconnect the hose if I need to at any point or anything like that, which that's just kind of a bonus. That's pretty cool. It doesn't have to have a quick connect. Came with a scrub brush, I guess, for cleaning out your pan. It actually came with like these concrete anchors, I guess, so that if you plan on mounting this to brick and mortar or something like that, you can. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be mounting this with screws, some Teflon tape, and then here is the watering bowl itself. So it's stainless, so this should hold up to the weather. It's not going to dry out, crack, or break like the plastic buckets and stuff we've been using. And then the float valve is right inside here on this back casing, and it's protected from the chickens being able to get to it or messing with it. And it's also, again, protected from sun and UV breaking that down and possibly drying it out and ruining it. So hopefully that will be our solution right here. And what this does is the hose just runs from this side port right here up to our barrels, and I'll mount this right onto our chicken coop. And I think this is gonna work out really, really well. So something I'm gonna end up doing, I'm not gonna do it today because I don't have the bolt I need for it, but there are mounting holes in the back there for me to screw into. Now, since I'm on a movable coop and I'm gonna be going on surfaces that aren't always level, I'm gonna actually end up mounting this with wing nuts that can be adjusted so I can change the, I guess, the level of the bowl. So if I'm sitting, like currently, I'm sitting on an angle, and if I wing nut it, it'll make it to where I can adjust this and then retighten the wing nuts to where the water bowl sits level. And then I don't have to worry about the water pouring over the edge and then the float valve continuously running and then this thing just like draining my barrels empty. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is just take apart this mess, get this out here, and basically get everything unscrewed. But like I said, this hose system has worked really well for us up until more recently. And now it's just become more hassle than it's worth to have to replace all these parts all the time. They keep just dry rotting out. The sun just wears down on them, and it gets old having to fix it all the time. This is supposed to be something that is supposed to be like thoughtless, not having to work on it all the time, and we got to change that. All right, so we got everything taken apart over here on the front end, and I'm just using boards that are left over here. So these are the same length, and I'm gonna be laying them squared up with each other so that I can get holes drilled for the bolts. I think I found some stray nuts and bolts that I can use that's gonna work the same way as the wing nuts. Now I'm still gonna get wing nuts because they're just easier to hand tighten and loosen. It'll just make it easier, but these bolts will work fine for getting this job done, as well as so that you can kind of see how this is gonna work with leveling it with the chicken tractor. So let's get some holes drilled. So basically this is a 1/2 inch bit. I think you can go down to a 3/8 and it'd probably still be big enough. 1/2 inch is just barely bigger than those holes on the pan. Should be fine. So basically all I'm gonna be doing is I have these boards together and I'm running the drill through both boards so that the holes are lined up in the same spot on both boards all the way down. Going all the way through. And I'm gonna do that a couple times up this board, just little by little, giving myself just different heights of holes to adjust my bowl height to. But we have holes, and they should be the same on both boards. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is basically get my first board up there and then space this evenly to where they'll line up with the holes on the pan. So let's get into that real quick. All right, so all I'm doing right here is getting the boards on, just mounting them to the front where they drop straight down. So basically I need, like I said, 3 1/8 inside to inside edge of these holes. It looks like they might end up being right together. Yeah. So yeah, my 2x4s are pretty much go right together. They'll be against each other. So that actually works out really well because that's just going to be more supportive this direction, you know, side to side. All right, that should be good enough. Now, let's mount the bowl on. All right, so I got my pan here. The pan has holes right on the inside. Now, I think this is actually not going to be a problem at all with it being on the inside for the sake that I plan on actually draining this to scrub this out every time that we move the coop each week, just to keep it clean. It just makes everything function better when it's clean. And obviously your chickens get clean water. Now, because I'm on a slope where my right side here is higher than that way, I'm going to be starting this bolt on the second from the bottom, a lower hole, basically just to give me more adjustability to raise it up higher on this left side. So I'm just going to finger tighten this on this bolt here. And then I should be able to adjust accordingly, you know, to whatever other hole, which it looks like. So I'm second from the bottom on the right side, but I think I'm going to be, yeah, I'm going to be on the third hole up on this left side. I can find it. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, and that should work really, really good. So, and that's so simple. Like, Lord, I mean, all I gotta do is take, like, honestly, I would probably only ever need to take one bolt out to adjust up and down on one side, unless I just like flip this thing completely around. But yeah, I mean, that's finger tight, and that's as sturdy as I'm gonna ever need it to be as far as like the chickens drinking water out of it. So I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, that was a simple install, and I can adjust the adjustability of it. So now I'm gonna move on to the hose, and let's see if this thing fills up and does its job. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and Teflon this thing on here. So basically the Teflon tape, if you've never used it before, all it does is it helps seal the threads so that you have minimal to no chance of you having a water leak from the threads. Nothing worse than walking away from this and then find out that it has like this small little leak at the threads where it connects, and then your whole entire water barrel is empty just from a side leak instead of actually doing its job. But got that on there, which I really like this flex hose a lot better than the water hose I had on there already. This is gonna work so much better. It's weird, I've never seen this before, but it has like this little sleeve part on it. It lets you get a grip on it with just finger tightening, which I guess is to ensure that you don't over tighten, which it looks like I'm about to do over here. Yeah. Well, don't do that. Over tightened it a little bit. So it doesn't need to be murder tight. Should have let that up to see. Anyways, and then make sure that you Teflon your quick connect. So, and just a tip, basically, just put it on there like you would be threading on. So I'm like threading to the right, and you do the same thing with your Teflon tape. You just keep on twisting it as if you were screwing it in. with the tape on there. Everything looks clean inside my spigot. And this is the quick connect part. So that should just screw on straight onto the hose bib. We got our quick connect here. You just pull back this sleeve and you can pop it on there, which I really like that too, is that it's easily disconnected if I need to disconnect it for any given reason and I just want to use this spigot. I can go, you know, pull it right off and I can use the spigot, which I think will also come in handy when it comes to actually cleaning this pan out. So like, if nothing else, even just this quick connect hose, not even including the pan, it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this so far. And I'm gonna be putting the link to this in the description. But I think this is gonna be a really good watering system. So I think I got it all hooked up. So let's let it do its job. A piece of grass out there. And it's pouring in good. Let's take a closer look. So it's literally like a little toilet bowl. And it has that float valve in the back, just like your valve inside your toilet. And then when this thing fills up enough, it should cut off. Yeah. So basically, once it fills up so much, it cuts off like it should. And, you know, keep this down, essentially, so that the float valve is protected from either the chickens messing with it, sun doesn't get on it. And now I got this stainless steel, basically, toilet bowl. You know, chickens drinking out the toilet. And I think it's going to work out really good. It just looks so much cleaner and slick looking than what I had on there before. And that should just float and ride right along with the chicken tractor. I ain't got to worry about buckets tipping over or anything. And if I have to, I can quick disconnect it, which is sweet. We're going to give it a couple days and see if any problems arise or anything. And then we'll come right back and let you know how it does. And if this thing ends up turning out to be as nice as I think it is, because to me, it looks like it's going to be freaking awesome. So we'll find out. Good morning, ladies. How's your water been treating you? You like it? Let's check it out. All right, so we are 4 days in and this thing's been doing good. It's been staying full and haven't had any issues with the leaking or anything like that. Quick connect and stuff still looks good. Nothing, no leaks or anything. So it looks like everything's sealed up good. Now you can notice the water gets mucked up pretty quick. We have 100-something chickens drinking out of this thing. So it only takes, you know, a week's time for this thing to get real nasty. Like I said, this is 4 days. So we're actually planning on moving them about every 5 to 7 days. So we'll clean this out every time we move them. We're gonna move them tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it now so you guys can see what the cleaning process looks like with this. All right, so this thing did come with its own scrub brush. And there is an option on this to where you get it without the drain plug. I got the drain plug because mine is going to be mounted and stay mounted, and I don't want it to be a pain in the butt to have to like take this off in order to clean it. So I went ahead and got the drain plug. We'll see how hard or easy it is to get it in and out. This is my first time taking it out, so we shall see. I don't even know if it's twist or if it's just a plug that's stuck in there. Oh, looks like it's twist off, so we will find out how hard or difficult or easy this is. Okay, yeah, so it's finger loosened. I just had to get a hold of it. So, unscrews, pull the plug. It's got a little rubber seal on there. Cool. So that wasn't bad at all. And it's draining super fast. And the water is still spraying out like it's filling back up. And it's kind of nice because it's kind of giving me running water to scrub this out, and then all this is going right down in the hole. Let me get you closer real quick because this is good. So you can see here, it's like keeping water running, and then I can just scrub this bad boy out and it goes right down the plug. Again, just like a toilet. So I got myself like a chicken toilet bowl here. The chickens can drink out the toilet and then we can flush it when it gets nasty and dirty, which I'm pretty happy with. And then a closer look at this. The plug is just a screw with a seal and then a hex nut on the bottom. And that was finger tightened and it wasn't leaking. So really, really good thing here. All right, so I have to say, I am a fan of the chicken toilet bowl. It's only been 4 days, but this thing has already solved a lot of issues for me just in 4 days, and I'm really happy with its quality. I think that metal bowl is really going to hold up in comparison to like a plastic bucket like we've been using that every couple of months ends up drying out, cracking and breaking or something. It just doesn't handle being out in the sun all day, every day. But this metal surely will. It was easy to mount, easily adjustable because I'm always on unlevel ground. So that right there solves a whole bunch of issues with that. And then lastly, the cleaning process, how fast that was. Unbelievably fast. Like, one, you unscrew the plug, it drains, it has running water for you to scrub it out with, you plug it, it's done. It is so much faster. I don't have to disassemble anything. I don't have to carry it up to my house to a water hose with pressure or anything like that. It was easy, and it came with a scrub brush. I mean, great, awesome. I had a scrub brush, but it came with one. So for 35 bucks, this thing solved all kinds of issues for me. And I think it would be really good for any movable coop option like this that has like a watering system like this, or just a standalone coop. Maybe you just have a chicken run, but either way, really easy. It'll handle the weather really well. And I think that float valve, because it's covered by that metal backsplash there, that's not going to disintegrate over time either from getting, sun exposure. So I love it. You should try it, get it. I'll have the link in the description of the video. Hopefully this was helpful to you. And if you like it, give the video a like, give us a subscribe, and we'd love to continue sharing stuff as we figure this whole farming, chicken, gardening thing out, and any tips that we come up with along the way. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.